to today's live broadcast. We are broadcasting live today on Facebook and YouTube, and I know that that is something new because we had stopped broadcasting live on Facebook. So welcome if you're joining us. We have so many new women in our community that I wanted to take just a little bit of time today to introduce myself formally and share a little bit of my story and my journey with intermittent fasting and share with you how it is in this community we are taking a different approach to intermittent fasting for today's aging woman. So welcome. My name is Diane, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women find nutrition plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And that is the primary focus and goal and the passion that I have for this community. I am proud to say that I'm a 53-year-old wife, mother of two amazing teenagers, and I have gone through what I call the aging process. I have been postmenopausal now for a couple of years, and when I was in my late 40s, I was in the depths of hormonal change. I was feeling all the feels, I was noticing all the changes, and I was totally frustrated with where my body was going. Being a health and fitness coach added an extra layer of stress and frustration for me because I was helping or trying to help other women get out of the same cycle of frustration that I was in. I was hyper focused on losing weight, and I was really self-conscious about my physique. So all of the changes that I was making during this period of time in my late 40s was based on all of the things that I had been trained on and all of the things that I knew about the past and how I was able to manipulate my body using diet philosophies and over-exercising. But it wasn't until I found myself in situations like parking lots at Target, not knowing why I was there or where I had parked my car. And it wasn't until I would find myself standing in a room in my own home at a total loss, wondering why I was in that room and what led me there. It wasn't until I could be in a conversation with my own children, look them dead in the face, and not be able to recall their name from my own head. That's when I knew something was changing. And then I got the call from my doctor letting me know that I was borderline diabetic. Me, the health and fitness coach, borderline diabetic. How did I get to this place? I got to the place that I was in because I was losing focus on what was making me look and feel my best. And I was hyper focused on following all of the diet trends that were available and using my past philosophies and tips and tricks to get my body to look a certain way. And I wasn't focusing on what season of life I was in and the real changes that were going on in my body. I ended up becoming very sick with what I now call sugar-related diseases. I was showing very, very obvious signs of being an Alzheimer's future patient, not remembering my own kids' names, not remembering where I parked in a parking lot is a scary, scary situation to be in. And it was all because of the life I had been living up to that point. Being super sugar sensitive and living in that lifestyle of constantly feeding my body. I measured all my food in containers. I counted every calorie. I spent Sunday afternoons grocery hauling and food prepping. I was constantly feeding my body out of fear that I was going to get fat. I was constantly feeding my body because I didn't like the way it felt when I would go more than 2 hours without eating something. I was hypoglycemic, and I had pushed myself into a state of insulin resistance that was so bad that I became a diabetic. And all of those things were affecting my everyday life. But I was still chasing that 5 to 10 pounds that I wanted to get off so desperately. And I was so unwilling to realize that my body was changing and I needed to approach things differently. That's when I started researching intermittent fasting. And I realized that we have an opportunity, especially especially as aging women, to reverse all of the signs of aging and all of the things that we are so unhappy with if we just approach taking care of our bodies in a different way. I firmly believe that food is not the problem. That the problem that we have as women who are so unhappy with the changes that are going on with our body is the fact that we are afraid to be without food. We have been conditioned this way. It is not our fault to believe that the next best diet is going to be the magic thing that we're looking for to make us happy. That if we just lose that last 5 to 10 pounds that we've been holding on to since our kids were born, and by the way, my kids are in, one of them is in college, that we have to realize that it's not the diet that we're following. It is not even the food that we're eating. It's the way we're thinking about how we're taking care of our body. And so here in this community, I do lead with the opportunity of us changing the way we think about taking care of ourselves and really taking control of what we have going for us in our future. At the age of 48, I was afraid of aging. I had no optimism for what my life would be if I was leading down that same path. I had a son in high school and a daughter in elementary school, and I could not remember their names. My why significantly changed when I realized that the way I was eating, not the food that I was eating, but the way I was eating was making me sick. And that's where intermittent fasting changed everything for me. When I started to do my research, there were no women like me that were talking about intermittent fasting. I had to dive deep into research and practice some new philosophies in order to figure out how this was going to work for my body. You see, intermittent fasting is not a diet. And when we approach intermittent fasting like a diet is where we get frustrated. We, as aging women, have to take this as a timing aspect. We have to figure out how time is on our side. And where a lot of us really get afraid, myself included, with considering timing being the issue, is that we haven't ever really practiced going any amount of time without food. When we get tired, we eat. When we're bored, we eat. When we're stressed out, we eat. When we feel alone, we eat. And that's exactly how I had approached my life as well. The things that really started changing for me before I lost weight and before my body changed physically on the outside was the fact that I could go hours without eating, that I suddenly was able to remember where I parked my car in a parking lot when I went shopping. It was the fact that I would wake up in the morning with energy and excitement about my day. The things that changed for me when I started practicing intermittent fasting were the things I lost focus of. It were the things that ended up being the most important to me and the things that I now practice intermittent fasting for and will always practice this lifestyle for. I practice intermittent fasting for my tomorrows. I practice intermittent fasting so that I can have a life of abundance with my grandchildren. And my children are still in school. So that is a far way down the road for me. Intermittent fasting can be that thing for us women that can free us from constantly feeling that we're failing at this nutrition game. I believe that there's no such thing as bad food. But I do believe that there are certain types of foods or certain ways of eating that aren't good for all of us. And if we as women don't take control of how we're feeding our body and we're not paying attention to the signs and signals that our body is sending us when we put things into it, we will never be able to end this cycle of feeling sick or fatigued or unhappy with the way we're living our life. Intermittent fasting is that thing that is healing so many women in this community on some very deep levels that have nothing to do with weight loss and have nothing to do with getting a nutrition plan right. It's about the freedom and flexibility that we feel when we are in control of our body, when we get to set the rules, when we're the ones that can feel the power of healing that goes on when we make informed decisions for ourselves. The weight will eventually come off. The hormonal frustrated belly fat will melt away. But we have to fix the hormonal imbalances that are going on in our body first. You'll know when that is happening when you start to feel the changes before you ever see them. We stopped feeling a long time ago. We stopped caring what was happening to our body because we were focused on the wrong priorities. Losing weight should not be the thing that we are focused on. We should not take the mentality of, I'll do whatever it takes. We should take the mentality of being informed about how it is we're caring for our body and changing the way we talk to ourselves and taking a stand for having the responsibility to understand what makes us as individual women look and feel our best so we can show up most authentic for ourselves. There's something that's magically empowering about stepping into your own lane and making decisions for yourself that allow you to have that opportunity to show up for yourself in the most authentic way. And I think we've become really numb to that as women who are taking on so many roles and feeling so stressed out and taking care of everyone else first. The biggest healing that has come with my journey of intermittent fasting and what I really try to enforce and encourage here in this community is to just slow down a little bit and consider the things that you've been doing in the past and ask yourself a very simple question. How's that been working for you? How are you feeling every day when you wake up? How present are you in social situations? Are you preoccupied about what other people are thinking about you when you walk into a room? Do you stress out when you walk into your closet because you're not sure what clothes are going to fit you today? If you're still living in that type of lifestyle, I promise you the feeling that I had when I lived that way was not very authentic. I wasn't showing up for myself and I wasn't showing up for the people that I cared about the most. And there's something that's so amazing and so freeing when food is not the thing that's controlling every decision that you make, when food is not the thing that's preoccupying you. And putting yourself into this new mindset. Intermittent fasting is a mindset. Intermittent fasting is a lifestyle. It is not a diet. It is not a temporary fix, and it is not the magic pill. Intermittent fasting is the lifestyle approach that all women should be taking to reverse all of those signs and all of those signals of aging that you are not happy with. We have an opportunity to sit back, take a deep breath, and just appreciate how magical things can happen in our life and how amazing our body can be if we just step out of the way. We've heard amazing stories from women in our community. I know they're here today, hopefully sharing a little bit of their journey as well. When we really think about a different approach to taking care of ourselves, we can enter into this next phase of life, or this current phase of life for me, and really take advantage of all the world has to offer us. For so many of us in our 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and even 80s, it's our first opportunity to really stand in our own place and stand on our own 2 feet and have the opportunity to have all the things in life that maybe were put on hold at some time. Maybe because you were stepping aside to support a husband who was starting a career, or maybe you were the mom at home with a full-time job raising kids and you put some things aside to help others on their journey in finding their way through life. I know for me, my kids are finally at a place where they're independent and I can step into my own role as a 53-year-old woman who can finally do some of the things that I wanted to do because I've retired from my job as a mom. And I can step into a new role of doing what it is that I want to do in my 50s. There's this amazing shift with midlife opportunities. It's becoming a very positive season to live in. And we have to make sure, as women especially, we're prepared to step up and take advantage of that opportunity. But we can't do that if we're preoccupied with all the things that we're failing at and all the diets that didn't work for us and that last 5 to 10 pounds that we're chasing that's making us feel horrible about the decisions that we're making. It's our opportunity to step into life. And that's the biggest thing that I have found as far as healing with intermittent fasting. It has allowed me an opportunity to take full advantage of this amazing life that I have been blessed with because I'm not constantly bogged down by food. We have a saying here in this community that intermittent fasting is not a diet, it's a timing thing. And once you get that timing down for you, it's amazing how awesome your body is going to feel being empty and energized. The energized sense of calm is such an amazing opportunity for us to have an abundance of energy and the mental clarity and emotional stability to get through our day. And most of us don't feel that because we're constantly bogged down. I take this mindset approach with intermittent fasting because I think as women, we deserve the opportunity to think our own way and to make decisions for ourselves as grown-up women. We don't need people to tell us what to eat, and we don't need people to tell us how to live our lives. We should be able to make those decisions for ourselves. And we do that in the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course by becoming more aware of how our body is sending us those signs and signals when we're doing something that is no longer working for us. And then we open up an opportunity to make new choices and create changes where we can thrive in our body, regardless of what season that we're in and regardless of what age we are. Aging is now considered a disease. And for so many of us women, it seems so dismal to go through this aging process. At 48, I know I felt that way. And at 53, I have no thoughts of that at all. I'm excited about every tomorrow, and I can't wait for the opportunity to get to my next season of life. This is a time in our life where we have the power to create the lifestyle that we want to live. And I promise you, when we start to think about food in a different way, those opportunities will definitely open up for us. And I want to make sure you're ready and prepared to take advantage of those opportunities. Healing happens for women at such different rates, and healing happens for women in so many different ways, but the healing will happen. And once you take the focus off of things like losing weight or how your body looks, I promise you, you will be amazed at all the other healing opportunities that'll happen that you have never, ever considered with something like intermittent fasting. The buzz and the hype around intermittent fasting is big today, and most of the time it is approached with a diet-like mentality. And I really hope that you are here because you want to approach it in a completely different way. We focus on our mindset first, and we focus on healing the whole woman, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Because if we don't change what's going on in here and we don't start to feel what's going on in here, this will be a short-lived victory, just like all the other diets that we've tried as well. But when you start to think for yourself up here and you allow yourself to feel some things in here and you approach this with some really common sense ideas about how it is you want to live your life, this will be a lifestyle that you can live forever, and you will continue on this journey of being able to heal yourself. I hope this explains a little bit of the journey that I have been on with intermittent fasting. I can proudly say I don't suffer from any of the aging related things that I was suffering from 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was very sick. Today, I am very well. I'm very happy. I'm very centered in my life. And I do credit that to the approach that I take with intermittent fasting and allowing my body to have the opportunity to heal on all levels. And I want that for everyone here in this community as well. Y'all know we, through our email list, we announced that we were doing a little giveaway today. I'm gonna quickly go through because we do like to keep this to about 30 minutes. Welcome everyone who's here. I will read all the questions and comments. And then if you are a new member of our community and you have never taken our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, we are doing a giveaway today that if you register for our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course during our live broadcast, we will be doing a giveaway. We will notify you via email if you are the winner of today's giveaway. And for my graduates, I also invited you to come on today and share a little bit of your journey as well, in hopes of inspiring some other women to approach intermittent fasting in a completely different way. I want you to have the confidence and courage from listening to other women who have gone through our course and really have had the opportunity to change their mindset about how they're taking care of their body and how they're showing up for themselves in life, and how intermittent fasting has really been that thing that's helped them. So I will go through and read all the comments. If you're interested in joining us for February, now is the time to do that so that you are entered into our giveaway for sure. So let me see who I have over here on YouTube. I have a ton of comments here, so I'm going to go through them pretty quickly so that we make sure that we can get to the Facebook comments as well. Heather, in a current course. Awesome. Audra, current course, January 2020. November grad from Carrollton, Texas. Carrie, hello. Michelle, good to have you with us. Tracy, hello. Ginger, excited I got on here on time so I won't miss anything. Ginger, we always love when you can jump on with us for sure. Jennifer, 48 and was gaining. Down 7 pounds in 30 days. Tried before, but now fasting longer. 20 hours, 6 days a week. Signed up for the February 1st course. No more going through perimenopause blind. Yeah, Jennifer, you are just getting started. And I promise you, when you come out of the course, you're going to have this completely different mindset about intermittent fasting and all the amazing possibilities that you're going to have moving forward. So I'm super excited to have you with us. Debbie, she's a July, I think, 2019 grad. Laura from Montana, first time catching live, October and December 2019 grad, and in current mindset course. Girlfriend, thanks for jumping on live with us. It's always nice to have you. Shannon, August 2019 grad. Teresa, I'm almost 62 and a September 2018 grad through IFF. Okay, you guys, listen to this one. My girl Teresa is off blood pressure medicine and no longer has joint pain. I have so much more energy than I did in my 50s. So glad I took your class. Teresa is a star for sure, and she has been living her intermittent fasting lifestyle since she's graduated from her course way back in 2018. So imagine all that she's gained in her life without having to rely on prescription medication anymore. So Teresa, we're always super proud to have you here with us. What really is amazing me lately is I'm not suffering from excessive sweating, which I've had for years, flares up rosacea, and makes me physically ill. It's got to be IF, and that's Shadow Mama 1. Yeah, for sure. The hormonal balance that we get from intermittent fasting is just amazing, and the scientific and chemical stuff that goes on in our body is just fascinating. And we teach all of that in the course too, from the perspective of how it is we want to be able to get rid of all those little things that are ailing us, and that we don't have to worry about doing intermittent fasting or feasting perfectly. You just have to understand enough about intermittent fasting and the timing aspect of it, and pay attention to what you're doing feasting so that you can get rid of all of those things that are internally ailing you and then often come out on the outside. So Shadow Mama, super happy for you. Patrice, welcome. Wanda signed up for the February course. I'm so excited. Cherie, in the January 2020 class now, I'm feeling great and proud of the changes happening, especially in my brain. Again, another non-weight focus, and she's feeling the mental clarity and healing in her brain. Super proud of you, girlfriend. Carmen, October 2018 grad, so glad to be here with you and all the fabulous ladies. Wanda, I want to be the best for my grandkids and husband. Yeah, that's me too, for sure, for many, many years to come. Shannon, you're right. Your class truly helped me take a different approach regarding my relationship with food and my body. I realized if I worked on healing from within, my external would take care of itself. Exactly. Oftentimes we are in our own way, and that's how we end up becoming a little broken down and sick as we start to age. And so I really do like to take the approach of just let your body be, stop interfering, and see what kind of magic can happen chemically on its own. And so super glad that you're feeling that as well. Andrea from Louisiana, November grad, always look forward to these live sessions. They're the highlight of my week. I'll walk away encouraged and empowered to live my best life. Awesome, girlfriend. Super proud of you. Ruthie, I remember before IF, I was driving home, same repeated route, and would suddenly not recognize where I was. Very scary. Haven't had the horrible experience since. Huge benefits with IF. Thanks. Yeah, Ruthie, you're welcome, for sure. And that's a scary thing. 2/3 of Alzheimer's patients are women. Women. That's us. That's this community. So if you think that every 2 out of 3 comments could be a woman suffering from Alzheimer's, that is scary. And we have the power to if not eliminate that, at least super, super slow it down. So if you're starting to notice those signs and signals, for sure, you have to take this seriously and use something that's going to create that chemical correction in your body so that we can slow down those signs and signals and reverse as much as we can before it gets out of our control. Michelle, benefits are endless. Heidi, it makes me feel in control and empowered where my nutrition is concerned. March 2018 grad. Yeah, for sure. We start to think about food in a lot of different ways when we connect those decisions to feelings. And oftentimes the feelings that we were using food for were not the best. So when you can be awakened and conscious and make empowered and informed decisions about your nutrition, it's magic. It's pure magic. Darlene, February 2019 grad, and also took the F3 midlife mindset. As I go through the first stages of menopause, Di's class has given me the education and the tools to feel positive instead of overwhelmed. Yes, menopause is not supposed to be life-altering for us. It's just part of life. And I think we get to this point in menopause where we're already so sick and broken down from food that menopause becomes something that is it's sort of shunned in society, and it's something everyone's embarrassed to talk about. And we should be openly talking about it and proudly talking about it. Hey, we got to menopause. That's a big thing. Now all we have to do is understand our bodies enough to be able to thrive in menopause. And I know from the women in our course here who have graduated from our course and the women who in this community who are practicing making changes because what they were doing before wasn't working for them, are having the opportunity to thrive. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Darlene, let's see, Genevieve. Oh my, OMG, you read my mind. I'm so stressed. I'm a January 2019 grad and I'm trying to get back and doing it correctly. Go back to your class. You have to take the class and do the work as it's presented in class and then rinse and repeat. Remember, time and consistency and changing your mindset is where we're finding success with intermittent fasting. It's not the meal plan. It's not the macros. It's not the calories. It's the mindset and the approach that we're taking to our everyday life. That's why you have access to your class. So make sure you go back through and give it your full attention for sure. Stacy, hello and thank you. You're welcome, January 2020 class. Graduate from Orcas Islands. Michelle, my perimenopausal symptoms all went away with IF. I'm 52 and still regular every 28 days. No night sweats, brain fog, or weight gain. Girlfriend, you're probably going to just slide right into menopause and not even know that you had that change going on. So congratulations for putting in the work beforehand so that transition for you will be so much easier and you're already feeling the benefits. So go you for sure. Audra, I work in the health and fitness industry and also saw the standard issue advice no longer working. In the weeks I've been taking the class, I feel I'm finally able to shake off the industry. Audra, and now you need to go pay it forward as well. I felt the same way in this industry of the diet mentality. And I apologized to so many women that I had coached in the past. And so now you know that there's a better way to live. And now you have an opportunity to spread that in your circle of influence as well. So I'm super proud of you and I'm glad that you've noticed the connection and the change for you as well. So I'm super proud of you. Heather, I'm feeling optimistic that the hormones are balancing 1 week on week 3. Flashes are few and far between, sleeping already better. Nothing like night sweats to screw up a good healing night's sleep for sure. And so we always have to make sure that we understand that night sweats, leg cramps, insomnia, they're not part of menopause. They're part of an imbalanced body. And if we can get our body balanced, then those signs and signals will go away. We're not supposed to suffer through the change of life. We're supposed to ease into it. And then I like the fact that I'm in a place now, I can embrace it fully. And that's really what we should be thinking about as we all start going through this midlife transition for sure. Audra, Di has taught me to listen to myself, not to what others think. Might be right for me. It is right for you. It's right for everyone. We should be listening to ourselves for sure. December 19 grad, DC area, 63. Tried different diets to lose weight with no results. The course is fantastic. Thank you, Diane. Clothes fit. Thank you for your assistance with IF and the tools provided. You're awesome. Thank you, girlfriend, for saying that. And thank you for sharing your story for sure. Audra, November 2019 grad, feeling fabulous and energetic. on my IF lifestyle. Thanks so much. You're super welcome. Thanks for trusting me with you. And that's something I say, and I don't say it lightly. Thank you for trusting me with you. It's hard to trust people these days. And it's hard to trust people who, some woman who just shows up on the internet talking about her story. But I gotta tell you, when you can just trust the process and know that someone's there for you and fighting for you and has already paved the way, we have thousands of women who have paved the way. We're here for you, and you can have this kind of lifestyle and relief as well. Carmen, I'm feeling great. Hot flashes have definitely lessened. A1C has gone from 6.5 to 6.4 to 6.0. You're headed in the right direction. Can't wait till my next blood work to see it will go down even more. And Carmen will be rooting for you. Make sure you circle back around and let us know. Carrie, what do you think about alternate day fasting? I've needed a different routine as my IF was at a stall. So I'm very happy with how I feel, just not sure if it's sustainable. Okay, so that question that if you're not sure if it's sustainable should probably answer your question. And just go with what's easiest for you and what works best for you. I've tried every aspect and every protocol and every designed little niche of what intermittent fasting has to offer. And I always go back to the tried and true. If I want to look and feel my best, I always show up for myself in a fasted state. And I don't need to overcomplicate it. Fast long, feast well within a 24-hour time frame, and that's all you have to do. And then pay attention to the foods that are not allowing you to look and feel your best. If you want to experiment, I say always experiment with different genres and different niches of intermittent fasting, but always know if it's not working for you, you have something that's proven and is working, and always default to that. So if you decide to experiment, come back and let us know. But alternate day fasting to me was too much mental work. I didn't need to do that. Shannon S., lastly, I no longer fear menopause after finding Diane. Yeah, don't fear it. I say embrace it. Go in informed. Prepare your body for it, and I promise you it will be easy. Easy peasy. Lisa, July 2017 grad. Diane's course has changed my life. Thank you. Love and hugs from Layla. Happy graduate from August 2019. Girlfriend, love having you in our community. And Mary Collins from Ireland. My girl from Ireland. February 19 course and did one in December 2019, feeling fantastic, no more hot flashes, no sugar cravings, and hope to soon come off medication for high cholesterol. Again, we're getting rid of the prescription medication. I'm not a doctor. I can't say that intermittent fasting is going to heal anything specific. But what I can tell you is that you should give your body the opportunity to try, and you never know what's going to happen if we, again, let your body just do what it was designed to do. And in a fasted state, that is heal. And Mary, I'm glad that you're benefiting from that as well. And your cholesterol will normalize, I'm sure. Carmen, does IF help heal lactose intolerance? I had a small bit of ice cream today and have had no dietary issues for the first time in years. I don't think it necessarily fixes a lactose intolerance. I think you always have that intolerance, but it does definitely let you heal your gut, because an empty gut is a gut that has the opportunity to heal itself. And so I think what happens is that if you just do things sporadically and you're not constantly doing things that were irritating you before, your system can handle it better because you're starting from a healed point as opposed to a sick or broken down point. So I would say I would be very cautious about how frequently you indulge in things that have lactose, but enjoy them now with a healed gut for sure. And then Kendra, November IF grad, currently enrolled in the Mindset Shift course. The balance of lifestyle gives me emotionally, physically, and practicality is enormous. I'm so grateful to you, Diane. Kendra, again, thanks for trusting me with you. You did the work. You trusted the process, and now you're in a place where you are feeling all those things for you. So now it's time and consistency for sure. Holly, do you offer advice during the course for folks who don't eat meat? Yes, girlfriend, for sure. I teach you how to figure out the best nutrition for you. So I have found through my own trial and error that I do best with less meat. I'm not a vegan. I'm not completely plant-based, but I just know that I don't have to depend on meat the way I was taught I was supposed to depend on meat. And I ask you to do the same thing. Try something out. Do you like the way you look and feel? And does it allow you to be most authentic? Or can you show up for yourself authentically? Or are the decisions that you're making about food make you feel like you're what I call that girl at the party who is telling yourself you're not allowed to do anything? So give yourself permission to experiment, and then find the foods that work best for you. Those are the ones you lean into most frequently. And then the ones that maybe are not the best for you, but you don't want to completely give up, you just do those infrequently. And then just know that those are the days that you might not feel your best, but we're not going to beat ourselves up mentally or emotionally about decisions we make. And you just fast it out and move on to the next day. So I would highly recommend you experiment, and we do that inside the course for sure. And I coach you inside our community on how to make those decisions. And let's see, May, a grad, 65 years old, feeling fantastic after restarting 8 days ago. You inspire me. No brain fog. Sally, good for you, girlfriend. You should not be living with brain fog. So if you start to feel that fog coming back in your brain, go back to what you learned in class. I always say you can jump in and out of intermittent fasting. The best thing you can do for yourself, though, is try to create some sort of time and consistency so we don't completely lose everything that we have gained. Brenda from North Carolina, girlfriend's always good to see you in our newsfeed. July and August 2019 grad. Wilma, I've been doing intermittent fasting for 18 months. Love it, but my menstrual period is even worse than before. I don't want to have a hysterectomy. Seems that the only option. Any suggestions? Yes, I would look at what you're doing in your nutrition for sure. Wilma, you should jump into our course. We can work on some things in there. Oftentimes it's what you're doing in your feasting window that may seem so innocent, but you might not have looked at it in such a way that it's causing that hormonal reaction. So I would love to have you in class and see if we can work on that with you. Nancy, minus 46 pounds with IF, brain fog is clear, off all prescription medication. There's another one for you. Awesome, Nancy. And Aaliyah, Diane, trying to pay for class through PayPal, but having issues with PayPal saying give final permission. We'll keep trying. Really bummed. Aaliyah, we're going to make a note of your name for sure. Shoot me an email later today if you don't get your registration in, and we'll make sure that we look into that for you and make an exception for you as far as our giveaway. And then Jennifer, I used to take digestive enzymes like candy, 30 days IF, and don't need them anymore. Yeah, for sure. Remember, an empty gut is a gut that has the opportunity to heal. Oftentimes, what we forget is that not eating doesn't mean we're not fasting, or we are fasting. So not eating does not mean that we are fasting. We have to create a fasting environment for our body to heal. That's where all the noise of what's going on in social media, that's where all the random advice for people is really screwing a lot of us women up, is that we're allowing those little bits of advice that we're getting to really keep us from benefiting fully from intermittent fasting. So we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of that for sure. And I'm so glad you're not eating digestive enzymes like candy anymore. Julie is a current student. Victoria, my mom and I had just started doing a fast and we love it. Thank you. I would love to know if herbal teas break a fast, like China, jasmine tea, green tea, peppermint, love from Australia. I say anything that has any, scientifically, there's been research done. Anything that's flavor will break your fast for sure. And depending on how affected you are from sugar-related diseases and how hormonally imbalanced you are, those could be deal breakers for sure. And then Darlene, thanks for suggesting the Game Changers video. Yeah, for sure. And then Brenda, take the course. Take the course. It will change your life. I joined to lose weight and did. The healing of my body has been the best part of all. Trust the process. It works. Yes, for sure, Brenda. Thanks for sharing. And then Shelly, September and grad, perimenopause, no more leg cramps or sweats, able to maintain 8-pound weight loss. I have the knowledge to be successful, working on mindset. Yes, Shelly, for sure. We have to change our mindset about how it is we are taking care of our bodies if we want to see the results that we're hoping for with intermittent fasting. If we don't approach it that way, what ends up happening is intermittent fasting just becomes another one of those diets that we fail at. And we deserve more than that for our lives. Our family deserves more than that from us. So we really do have to work on the mindset and approach this as an opportunity to increase our lifespan. We need to approach this as an opportunity to have our best life, to have the most energy, to dodge Alzheimer's and dementia and all of these diseases that are now becoming so geared and focused on us women. And it's because what we have been doing in the past has not worked for us, but we don't slow down enough to consider the why. Ask yourself that question. Why is this not working for me? Why are all of these things that I have been doing not producing the results that they should be producing? And then we should question that heavily. And oftentimes we don't question it. We don't ask ourselves the question, and then we don't question the process either. Okay.
That's still YouTube.
Oh, let me see who I have here.
Some more questions.
I need a Facebook comment feed if you don't mind. So we're going to read some comments on Facebook, and then we're going to jump out of here and get you guys on your way. Remember, while we're live, if you're new to our community and you have not registered for our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, check the news feed. Check the comment feed, check the description box. We have our registration. We're doing a drawing today. We want you in this course. My passion, my purpose for showing up here and sharing my story and sharing the stories of the women in our community is to give you the confidence and the opportunity to do something different. Try our course for 3 weeks. See what kind of changes you can create for yourself and how you have the opportunity to reverse all those little things that are keeping you from showing up to be your best. Pamela, May 2018. At 65, I don't need all of the food I was eating any longer. Yes, and that's another thing I think we don't consider as women is that our life has changed. I'm not the same woman I was in my 20s and my 30s, not even my 40s. How can I expect to get the same results when I'm not the same woman? And we also don't stop to consider we weren't happy with her either, right? I was never happy with my body in my 20s. I was never happy with my body in my 30s. I was not very happy with my body in my 40s. And in my 50s, at 53, I wake up happy with my body every day. That's a big deal for us women because we spend so much time not being happy with ourselves. And that is so sad that we can't just wake up happy with ourselves and happy with our body and happy that we have another day to live and just let everything else run its course. It will take care of itself. I promise you. Sharmalia, how does someone with autoimmune disease fare with intermittent fasting? From the experience of the women in our course and from some of the things I was personally suffering from myself, you fare very well. Again, it's that thing where when you allow your body the opportunity to heal on a chemical and hormonal level, things start to adjust. Autoimmune disorders happen to every woman, it seems, at some point in our lives. All of us women have been trained to take care of our bodies pretty much the same way. Eat every 2 hours. The most important meal of the day is breakfast. Eat all of these things. Limit your calories. Just go work it off. And we end up in the same pool of women who are frustrated and sick and suffering from all these autoimmune disorders. Autoimmune disorders are rampant. Why is that? And if you change the way you take care of your body, we can start to see a lot of reversal in a lot of these autoimmune disorders. So I say, if what you were doing wasn't working for you and you ended up with autoimmune disorders, why not consider trying something else for sure? Mary Sue, hello from West Virginia. Jerry Ann, my second 20-hour fast, things are looking good. Good, girlfriend. Cher, hello. I've just been diagnosed with Graves' disease. How will fasting affect the thyroid hormones? Several of our women in our community have had thyroid issues for sure. There's varying levels of thyroid issues, I know. Again, if what you were doing has put you in a place where now you're suffering from thyroid issues, how was that working for you? And could a new approach work better? I always say it's worth it. You always, if you're suffering anything medically and you're under the care of a physician, you should always check with your physician. But just know that a lot of physicians aren't well-versed on nutrition and they have a certain way that they have done things as well. We're not always sure if those things are working either. So become informed and then make a very informed, educated, and conscious gut decision for yourself and consider what doing something different might do for you. Sylvia, waking up between 1 and 4 a.m. with night sweats, no meals after 7 p.m. I have sometimes 1 meal a day, keto, 51, BMI. Okay, so Sylvia, if you're sometimes doing intermittent fasting and you're having all of those signs and signals, consider changing the sometimes to always. Always put yourself in an opportunity where you can create an opportunity for your body to heal. Jumping out of intermittent fasting and jumping into intermittent fasting in that sort of way is living a diet mentality. I'm going to do it for a short period, see what happens, then I'm going to jump out, see what happens. That's not the way intermittent fasting is designed as a lifestyle. So I always suggest going in with both feet and making commitment that you're just going to change the lifestyle that you live and see what happens for you. So you can't really get an honest answer about what intermittent fasting can do with you if you're jumping in and out. Stacy has helped me heal my gut and my unhealthy obsession with what to eat next. Graduate of May 2017. So she's still in that healed state as a woman on all levels, mental, emotional, and physical. And she's been living this lifestyle for several years. Stacy, always love having you coming back into community. Cynthia, 2019 grad. Nancy, interested in the course. Get yourself registered, Nancy, while I'm still chatting away, and you can be entered in our drawing. Vanessa, I'm a newbie. I want to learn all I can. I'm so tired of dieting. Vanessa, again, I'm going to say the same thing I said to Nancy. Get yourself registered while we're live. I'd love to have you in our drawing, and I would love to spend some time with you in February and personally help you establish this amazing lifestyle for you. Curly, June 2018 grad. Juliet, what should I do after graduating from the January course? We have something that we have for you. We have our Fasting, Feasting, Fitness course. We have our Midlife Mindset Shift course, which is amazing next level stuff that we're doing to help our mindset going through this midlife season that we're in. That will launch in April. So all that information will be available to you. And then we always make sure that we email you guys as graduates and let you know what the next step could be if you want to take a next level class with us. And then you're always invited here in this community for support and to engage in the conversations that we have here. I'm not going anywhere, and I hope you guys aren't as graduates too. And then Jerry Ann should have said in my previous comment that I am in your course right now and love it. It has made such a difference and I'm feeling great. Jerry Ann, thanks for coming back and leaving that comment. I appreciate you. And yes, it's the opportunity in a course with like-minded women who are feeling the same feels that you have and all the frustrations on day one, going through this amazing life change together with other women is the power of the intermittent fasting for today's aging woman course. We don't talk about these frustrations openly. We don't share what we are going through that we're not happy with as women. For a long time, I felt like I was failing as a woman because I wasn't showing up as my best, because I wasn't happy, despite the fact that I had an amazing life. I was so frustrated and so scared about all the things I didn't understand about my own body. And man, when you can gather in a room with women who understand you and will embrace you and support you and say, I know I'm feeling the same thing, it's magic. Because for a lot of women, it's hard to find those kind of relationships with other women. And that's what I love about this community the most is we stand up for each other, we support each other, and we say, we understand because we've been through it too, but let me tell you, there's a better way. And I want you guys to have that and feel that as our students in our course as well. A couple more comments and I'm gonna bust out of here because now it's 3:50 and I gotta go pick up my daughter from school. Lynn King. What do you mean by not eating isn't fasting? Can you explain more? Yeah. So when you're not eating, oftentimes I have women come to me and I've been the same way, but I haven't eaten all day. I don't know why fasting's not working for me. Anytime you put something in, on, or around your body that causes a hormonal response for your body, you take yourself out of a fasted state. For a lot of us suffering from autoimmune disorders or sugar-related diseases, or are really just cellularly backed up, suffering from metabolic syndrome and insulin resistance, we're super, super sensitive to everything. So you cannot eat all day, but if you're not in a fasted state, you won't get the healing benefits. And again, this is so unique to our community of women here because so many of us are suffering from hypoglycemia and insulin resistance and diabetic states that we're not aware of yet, or walking into a room and not understanding why we're there, forgetting things and laughing it off as it's just part of aging. Those are not part of aging. And we haven't made the connection to the fact that it's what we're doing in our most unconscious state that's keeping us in that sick place. So what we want to do in our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course is become conscious and very aware of what chemical things are happening to us on a daily basis so that we can change that chemistry. So I hope that helps answer that question. Major Pal, what is the game changer video? It's a video about being more plant-based. You can find it on Netflix. Purely Southern Mama, Jennifer, sorry I'm late, September 2019 grad, no more muscle cramps, sleeping better, no more anxiety, love the class, love the videos, love the group. No more anxiety. Whoever thinks about intermittent fasting as a way to end anxiety. This is where this community is so unique. When your focus is off those last 5 pounds and you can really appreciate all the magic that's happening and how you can really just embrace that feeling of being in a fasted state. We call it the energized sense of calm. You can really reverse a lot of those things that you thought you were going to have to live with for the rest of your life. So girlfriend, I am so, so proud of you, and I'm super happy that you're noticing all those positive changes. Also weight loss, energy boosted, and immune system. So I love that you listed all the things that you listed in the order that you listed them for sure. The anxiety thing is no joke, and I'm super happy that you're noticing some relief from that. Lisa joined July 2017, haven't done IF in a long time. How do I join the February 1st class? Girlfriend, email me. And then Dinah, September 2019 grad, doing amazing. And Lisa, you can check the link in the description box as well. Ursula Somerville, thank you, girlfriend. I'm not talking about 16-8. I'm talking about how we've designed intermittent fasting in our specific community, and we tend to go a little bit longer for the healing benefits for us, specifically as aging women going through hormonal changes. And I thank you for your donation to our YouTube live today. Thank you so much. And then where did I stop off, Michael? Dinah, September 2019 grad, doing amazing. Mimi, newbie here, register for the February class. Oh, girlfriend, I can't wait to spend time with you. Potato love, what test strips do you recommend purchasing to make sure you are in the correct fasted state? I don't recommend any test strips. What we teach in the intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course is to feel what it feels like to be in the energized sense of calm. You don't test at all. I don't really recommend testing in any way for blood glucose or ketones, and I do recommend testing for both until you really feel comfortable and confident about the decisions you're making in a fasted state and a feasted state. When you understand that chemistry, that's when I really recommend incorporating testing, and I recommend it in our midlife mindset shift course as a hobby and not something that we could very easily become obsessed with, like counting calories. So I always wait until you feel like you're really healed and understand this process before I ever recommend testing. And you can tell if you're in a fasted state. You can tell if you're at that healing point with your body by signs and signals that your body's sending you. And I teach you how to do that first. Mimi, Potato Love, that is the best name. I was thinking the same thing, Mimi, and I'm bummed that she caught it before I did because I'm a potato lover too. So love the name for sure. LOL, wasn't it, who doesn't like potatoes, right? That's another thing that we teach too in our courses. You have to go to the foods you love. Like I am the biggest potato and French fry snob there is around. I will never ever give up my potatoes. I love them. I have just figured out how to fit them into my lifestyle, and I figured out how to find the best potatoes and the best French fries so they don't send me on a hormonal downward spiral. So I teach you that in class too. How can you still appreciate all the amazing things and all the amazing foods and all the amazing social events in your life without having to be the one that's not allowed to participate and still maintain the healing benefits of fasting? No diet approach whatsoever. We embrace food for what it is, as for us as individual women for sure. Ursula, thank you again. How long should I eat? 20 hours a day? No, so it's the reverse. So intermittent fasting is a longer period of fasting.
She said, how long should I not eat?
Oh, not eat. Okay, I'm sorry. So fasting is a 24-hour period, intermittent fasting. I recommend for hormonal healing and resetting your body at least 20 hours until you feel healed. Then you have the flexibility to play with some different time ranges. But I always defer to a 20-hour fast when I want to look and feel my best. So sorry I misread your question. Thank you again for your donation to the channel. Always appreciate it. Okay, so I think I got them all, Michael. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up today. Thank you to our community of new members. I appreciate you. I appreciate all your questions. I would love to have an opportunity to have you experience what it is we teach in the intermittent fasting for today's aging woman, and the concept and the way we approach taking care of our bodies as we go through this aging process. And to my graduates, I love you. You are my people. I appreciate you trusting me with you. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day today and sharing your journey with intermittent fasting and how you have healed in so many amazing ways that are not just dependent on the weight loss. Always feel free to join us here in this community on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Make sure that you are checking in with us on email. We will be sending out emails on Sundays to kind of keep everyone abreast of what's going on in our community. And if you're new to our community and you haven't joined our course, please keep in mind February 1st is our next Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. Registration will close on January 31st. We want everyone in the community introducing themselves, loving on each other, and supporting each other before we officially start our course. So we always make sure that the community gets in a day early. Thanks again. I appreciate you listening to me. I appreciate your comments, and I'll see you guys on Friday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, where Michael and I will come together and talk about something amazing for our today's aging community. Have a super blessed day, and I'll see you guys in class.